Good evening, friends. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the wonderful Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Welcome to Cosmic Connections. And tonight, of course, we're going to be talking about the big old full moon lunar eclipse that takes place in about 48 hours from now, no matter where you may be. So I want to talk, first of all, just about the significance, a tad, about the eclipse shifts that happen in our lives. So think of the nodal, we don't actually have a nodal shift that takes place on Friday, but it's the first time we get a sneak preview of the next year and a half with the eclipse is the north node and the south node moving into the polarity of Scorpio and Taurus. Now, please understand that in my estimation, these eclipses are so important because they color our world. They color the gestalt, the zeitgeist of the age, so to speak. And as they move through, they may be very personal to you in your chart, especially if you have Taurus or Scorpio in your chart, but they are this underbelly of themes that start to emerge. So while this full moon lunar eclipse is the first taste, is a sneak preview of the thematics that may be ushering on affecting all of us in the next 2 years. So let's talk a little bit about Scorpio and Taurus. And one way for us, of course, to understand what's ahead always in astrology is to do the research of subsequent pastimes of the eclipse nodal shifts. So Scorpio and Taurus as a polarity, of course, what comes to mind is finances, right? I mean, income is Taurus. The way we manage money is Scorpio. But it also represents the power, manipulation, and control inherent with the fixed signs of Taurus and Scorpio. The beginnings and endings of junctions in our lives where we have oftentimes recessions, and I've done some research on this, wars, beginnings and endings, strange events, mysteries, that's reflective of the Scorpio persona, new powerful inventions, and strange sexual shifts, Scorpio, or notable deaths or unusual deaths. These are some of the overall themes that comes to us when we have the Scorpio and Taurus. I'm not saying this is all going to happen on Friday. Goodness, no. We're going to talk about the specifics of that chart in just a moment. Sex, death, and taxes. We all know that when we study astrology, right? That's the Scorpio purview. But sex, death, and taxes, what do they have in common? There are themes which we have very little control over. Right? The scorpionic theme is that which we do not have willful direction upon. So when the south node begins to go into Scorpio, so some estimations is about the middle of January, depends on where you calculate the north and south node, and Taurus will be in the north node. Well, you can bet we're going to be really dealing with life and death issues, money, food, Taurus, ways of sustenance, products, and of course, possessions, and also nature. We are seeing this globally right now, right? The concern with the environment. Nature is a big part of what the Taurus North Node is all about. Do we control nature? Do we have control over nature? The arts, love, relationships. So I thought I'd give you just some snippets from past nodal shifts in Taurus and Scorpio, just for your consideration. This is not an inclusive list by any stretch of the imagination, but the last time we had the Taurus North Node was at 4/13/2003 until 11/30 of 2004. That was when the North Node was in Taurus, which we're heading towards in 2022. All right, so some of the big stories at that time was, for example, the discovery of Sedna for us astrologers. the discovery of Sedna during that time frame. Sometimes I like to look at pop culture and see what the headlining songs are all about. And Tim McGraw's tune called "Live Like You're Dying" was a very big hit during that time frame. The horrors of Abu Ghraib, when we had the U.S. soldiers with video showing abuse and sexual humiliation of the prisoners. That was a very top story. And of course, the U.S. was launching war in Iraq. Saddam was captured at 12/13/2003. Then we're going to go back another inhale, exhale. So the polarity of Taurus and Scorpio is always going in that direction. So Scorpio, the south node, is the underbelly. Scorpio has those themes of mystery. Like, for example, in 2013, who can forget the weird Flight 370 out of Malaysia, which seemingly disappeared? We had many hacks going on. I love a mystery with our computers. The hacks of Heartbleed and Sony and celebrities, and their new pictures are coming out into consciousness with hacks, computer hacks. Internationally, the Bill Cosby had his rape scandal come to mind. We also had the Environmental Protection Law. Again, I'm quoting a lot of U.S. laws, but it's relevant across the globe. Which was the environmental land and soil, sea, water, and waste and hazardous substances that were going on as well. That was back in 2014. So it's kind of interesting. We have all of these thematics that come through. I want to say hello to Linda and Ripple and Katrina and Rose and Retta, LaRonda, Patricia. Hello. You know what? My goodness, we have the wrong logo. I'm so sorry, Julia. Hi, Vixie. I just put on what was on there. Hi, Linda. Good evening. Can we bring you into the in the room here? Hi, Jody. Hi, Jay. Hi, JP. Good evening. Good morning, wherever you may be. So I just want to make some mention about the issues of control and the new businesses that will be emerging post-pandemic. We can see that on a positive sign as we move into the new backstory of the eclipses changing. Hello. Hi. Hello, Sue. So we would like to also go through a couple more backstories here. Way back when, in the 60s, we had the Taurus North Node, for example. That was the Communist Party of China issued the Cultural Revolution. That was, again, an idea of control politically. And we also had the Church of Satan was established in San Francisco. Kind of interesting, in 1966. I'm all over the map here. But we also had the start of Microsoft in 11/3/75. So talk about the generation that's grown up with these new businesses. We had the war in Ireland in the North and South, going back to the 70s now, and the USSR performed its first nuclear test. Thank you for sharing, Rose. Hi, Sue. Hi, Tonya. Hello, Jody from Western Australia. So let's, I just want to give you just a little nuggets of some of the tenor as the eclipses move into these new south and north nodes, correct? So as this happens, my dear friends, we get a sneak preview with the full moon lunar eclipse on Friday, but let's dissect the actual chart of it. And there's a lot of scuttlebutt online, especially among us astrologers. Good afternoon, Watchmen. Hi, Corey. Hi, Monica. Because this particular lunar eclipse is conjunct the fixed star Algol. Now, its position at 26 degrees, the full moon's at 27 of Taurus. That's about as close as you can get. So what does this mean? Does this mean that we're going to be falling into the pits of despair with misfortune, violence, and difficulty? I tend to have a very willful Scorpion way about looking at any challenging cycles ahead. And my sense, and I think I speak for some of the basic philosophy of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, it's not just conscious, it's not just cosmic, it's also consciousness, intention, and consciousness when we see something very challenging ahead. So as we have this beautiful full moon lunar eclipse next to this very malefically defined fixed star, use this as an opportunity to find wherever you have 27 degrees of Taurus in your chart, to be illuminated in a new way with your own difficulties, darkness, obsessions, frustrations, and reframe it in a new way. That would be my suggestion. I know I'm doing that with myself. I have no planets, no personal planets exactly at 27 degrees of Taurus, but it falls everywhere in someone's chart, right? So we want to identify where it falls and see how the illumination of an eclipse is going to give you some data about yourself. The backstory is we might have more illumination about the themes, political themes of power, manipulation, and control in general. And as I was going through some of those stories, narratives from other eclipse cycles in the past, you'll see certain themes coming up, right? Whether it be control of money, control of ourselves, control of nature, control of the physical body. All of these are under that umbrella. So this specific lunar eclipse is squaring Jupiter, good old Santa Claus. Well, Santa Claus is just an archetype for big. So there could be an exaggeration. There could be some unexpected shifts that occur during this lunation going forward. And Jupiter always makes things larger than life. And larger than life can necessarily be positive. It can be also negative too. So that square is occurring with our Jupiter, with the lunation. It's trining Pluto. Again, the idea that this lunar eclipse is asking us on so many levels, to dig in our heels and do some transformation, to do some illumination and elimination of that which we need to cure or let go of and heal within ourselves. We also have Black Moon Lilith is in conjunct Mars, and Mars is opposite Uranus. So that's a recipe for some explosive acting out, perhaps, within yourselves, or we might see that on the world's stage. Black Moon Lilith, to me, is always the archetype of that which, the feminine, that which wants to be accepted or reignited into the garden, into the mainstream. But there's a feistiness here with Mars opposite Uranus. Remember, again, alcohol is the quote unquote Medusa, the head of the ogre, the demon star, as it were, a way to observe that which is difficult, to do the healing, and to reframe it in a new way. The Sabian symbol of this full moon is a woman past her change of life. That's a very quaint way of putting it, right? I'm just quoting from Mark Evan Jones. A woman past her change of life experiences a new love. That speaks of that Scorpio Taurus polarity of passion, doesn't it? And relationship. But the image here, the Sabian symbol, is for us to do a re-beginning. It's never too late. There's always hope for tomorrow. There's hope for contact and connection and relationship. That's the Sabian symbol of the degree of the eclipse. So there we have it, my friends. We've got that illumination. We begin this passage in the next year and a half as the nodes actually shift routinely and regularly in North Node Taurus and South Node Scorpio. So I wanted to address Jay O's question. What does that mean? Where 27 Taurus degrees in your chart mean? So in a simple explanation, think of all of the degrees of all the different planets, the full moon, new moon, so forth. And I'm addressing this more in a general astrological language. And so I really appreciate your questions. Each planet, each lunation, i.e. full moons, new moons, asteroids, are placed upon a circle on the ecliptic, Jay. And so when you have an understanding of your chart, everyone has 27 degrees of Taurus somewhere within that mandala that is your chart. Astrology is based on a circle. So as we look at the chart and you look at your chart, and I know there's lots of wonderful chart services around, I would suggest you might connect with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency to learn the basics of astrology and learn where that Taurus 27 falls. Because that would be the place where this eclipse event is taking place. The difficulty of conjunct Algol, the fixed star of difficulty and manipulation, misfortune, and the demon star, but it's being illuminated by the full moon. So a simple explanation, this might be a little bit more psychological. Thank you, Corey. This might be a little bit more psychological than other explanations you might hear from other astrologers. I love the full moon because the full moon gives us illumination. It's a culmination of the lunation cycle. We start things at the new moon. We build, and then at the full moon, whether it be an eclipse or just a good old-fashioned full moon, we can see in the dark. We get a different perspective. So this is a supercharged full moon because it's an eclipse. See, I'm wearing my little eclipse pendant, right? I hope I answered that question, Jay, so that all of us have 27 degrees somewhere in our charts. Another thing about astrology, the idea of cycles based on circles. Nature draws in circles, right? In spheres. And when we talk about aspects, of those of you who are brand new to astrology, when the sun and the moon are opposite to each other, we can therefore see the moon. An opposition, and even when we say an opposition in your own psychological life, if you're having a conflict with someone and you see someone else's point of view and you're duking it out, you're fighting, you're in conflict, then you are able to be transformed and changed when you are opposing someone. I didn't understand that about you. I thank you for explaining it to me. That's what the sun and moon do every month at the full moon. They stand directly opposite so we can see the moon and we can see and then regain a new perspective, a new reframing. So even though, scary, Algol is next to the full moon eclipse, that doesn't mean the end of the world. It means we're able to see something new about the darkness within ourselves, or maybe the darkness outside in the greater landscape. And it's relative to the themes of power, manipulation, and control. It's relative to money. It's relative to nature. It's relative to relationships, survival, all those great things that keep us going. I hope that makes sense. Hey, yo. Hi, Debbie. Okay. You're starting daily. I'm glad you're studying. And I can't say enough about the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, my dear friends. Proud Asian here. They have so many wonderful offerings. They have memberships, they have classes, and they have a fantastic, and I put that down in the beginning, there's a link you can click onto. They have fantastic offerings throughout the week, throughout the month, and when something really special happens, like Venus's transit, Venus, the goddess of love and money, well, she's always doing things up there. We're not just going to talk about the full moon lunar eclipse. Venus is going to be going through a retrograde. Now, I'm not the Venus expert, but there are agents who are the Venus people. And I want to encourage you, my dear friends, to attend a seminar. It's a day-long symposium with some of the best astrological minds on the planet. I'm not kidding you. Patricia Walsh, Adam Gainsbourg, Adam Summer, and our own Julia Summers. This is taking place if you're in Australia, it's taking place on the 22nd, beginning at 8 in the morning, all the way until 12 noon. And then on the 21st, that's Pacific and Eastern time from 4 until 8. It is a supercharged symposium where you'll learn all about the intricacies, the gifts of Venus. I mean, Venus is everything that we value, right? Venus is the ruler, by the way, of the Taurus full moon lunar eclipse. So we're really talking about, with this full moon lunar eclipse, what really matters to you? And how do you want to expend your energy to heal the darkness? And an eclipse, any eclipse, has, it's not one and done. It continues its relevancy for at least 6 months until the next eclipse cycle. So we always have eclipses in pairs. We have a full moon eclipse on Friday, Eastern Standard Time. And then we have a solar eclipse, the last remnants of this past nodal dance that we've taken place collectively across the planet since May of 2020. We're leaving Gemini and Sagittarius. The past 20 months when we've been talking about talking. We've been talking about how are we learning? How are we getting our information? What data is real? What data is not real? This has been across the planet, right? I'm talking to you via a vehicle which can and has been abused and disabused. News is very much a Gemini aspect, with the North Node being in Gemini. And then we had Sagittarius, which represents the completion of wisdom by looking at what the data is all about. So we're leaving that cycle. We're moving in 2022 into Taurus, Scorpio, Taurus, Scorpio. So please identify where it falls on a personal level, where you have Taurus and Scorpio on your chart. We get a sneak preview on Friday with the full moon lunar eclipse. And then go back 18 and a half years. You can go down and you do your own research. Go back every 18 and a half years past tense to see what was going on the planet at that point. All right, we're going to do a little bit. So I left the, I did leave that. Okay. Also, yes, the Kyle Rittenhouse. Yes. That's absolutely. We're probably on the eclipse. We might get word. I think last I heard there was going to be his lawyers were asking for a dismissal. To make this more current and fairish, I'm sure this story, of course, has gripped the entire world, but the astral world stampede and deaths of 8 people in Houston, in the United States, that fits this whole scenario of Taurus and Scorpio. Scorpio is what we call the death and rebirth sign. And when we go back during eclipse cycles, when they've been in Taurus and Scorpio, we've often observed gripping, unusual deaths, right? Like, and disappearances and weirdness surrounding that. I think what happened in the astral world tragedy fits in perfectly the Scorpio South Node that we're about to experience. And also the Taurus piece of it. There's been lawsuits that have been filed, $750 million lawsuits against Travis Scott and Apple, the streaming service, and the people who put together this concert. All right. I love your question, Jay. So astrology takes about a year to learn. If I commit 4 to 5 hours a day, is that a good guesstimate? My dear friend, I think, in my own opinion, astrology calls out to us. And when we're ready to learn the language, that could be a very good guesstimate. We have to get, it's like playing the piano, right? I've never learned how to play a piano. I learned the chords, I learned the notes, but it takes practice, practice, practice. I'm still learning. I'm still learning astrology after 40 years of learning it. It's never ends. So I give you a lot of credit for taking up the astrological gauntlet, Jay, and learning it. Again, Cosmic Intelligence Agency, a fantastic resource. I think the best on the planet for classes. Now, I did put the website on here. I would encourage you to go to Venus, the next chapter that's taking place on Sunday, the 21st and the 22nd. And what's wonderful about our venues now, my dear friends, is that we can have a link, we can participate in a class, and then we'll receive the finished product as a video, and we can keep on learning. So yes, I think that's a good guesstimate. Just like you're learning a new language, practice, practice, practice. Blessings from Quebec. Thank you, Marie Claude. And Venus does rule the law, Corey. So Sarah, yes, it's very heavy and intense. I think that when I talk about the astrology of the week, I'd like to go kind of globally, but also encourage you to look at your own charts, because not everyone is going to be affected in every way, right? So I'm going to give you a little Reader's Digest version of the astrology for this week. And if you know your rising sign, use that, please. And if you just know your sun sign, you can use that as well. You can combine them both, because both the rising sign and the sun sign has some validity. So this full moon lunar eclipse at 27 degrees of Taurus, the Sabian symbol of re-beginning, the middle-aged woman who finds love again, conjunct Algol, the demon star. Because it's a full moon, it's shedding light on darkness, and we can reframe it. A full moon eclipse is like a supercharged full moon. We're able to really see things with a new light. For Aries or Aries rising, you're going to be able to reframe your attitude and your relationship to money and your self-worth and value. It's triggering within you, how do I want to live more abundantly? Perhaps there's a hobby that you want to turn into an income stream, or you want to manage your money in a new way. For Taurus or Taurus rising, this full moon lunar eclipse is all about you, Taurus. Take the bull by the horns and move forward in a new way with more confidence, reinvent yourself, heal things about yourself that you want to let go of. For Gemini or Gemini rising, this full moon lunar eclipse is activating what's called your house of retreat, that which you want to escape into, the semblance of spirituality, the unconscious. Dream work would be a great thing for the Geminis to ignite with the full moon lunar eclipse. For Cancer or Cancer rising, a new healing of the darkness surrounding friends, groups, and associations. So the full moon lunar eclipse will be illuminating what needs to be perhaps shifted in your social life, and ways that you can connect and heal with the people that resonate more with you. For Leos or Leo rising, this is a wonderful time, this eclipse energy, for you to look at the way you're doing leadership in the outer world, whether that be with a career, whether that be with leadership in your community in a volunteer position. So it's really positive for the Leos to take charge of their career energy after this eclipse. For Virgo or Virgo rising, this energy is asking you to speak your peace, speak your mind, speak your truth, to do whatever you can do to be able to travel more fruitfully, to communicate more fruitfully, to write, to teach, to expand your horizons, Virgo. You are, after all, the considerate, dedicated ones. Well, this is a time for you to get your message out. For Libra or Libra rising, the full moon lunar eclipse is activating your house of transformation. It's helping you look at yourself with new eyes and to heal that which you do no longer want to resonate with, to change up using psychology or spirituality to make yourself more whole and more healed. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, the full moon lunar eclipse is asking you to look at your BFFs, your significant others. Do you want to be in a relationship? How can you become a better partner to the people that you're closest with? For Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, the eclipse energy is asking you to make a better commitment to your health, to eat better, to exercise more, to do whatever it takes to become healthier and more healed on a physical level. For Capricorn or Capricorn rising, this energy is all about your playfulness and your creativity. And it's asking you to become like a child and have those eyes wide open to bring more joy into your life. For Aquarius or Aquarius rising, this energy is asking you to make those healing commitments to your family members. Maybe practice more forgiveness, reconnect with people you haven't seen, or do whatever it takes to create a more livable situation in your home. Pisces or Pisces rising, get the energy and channel it down to create a better schedule for yourself, to speak your piece, to speak your mind, to do your writing, to do your communicating in a new way. And get rid of all that mucky muck, the darkness that's inherent with this particular full moon lunar eclipse. Get a grip of the schedule. All right. Yes, it is. Mars and Uranus are going to be opposite each other, Corey, and Black Moon Lilith is going to be in conjuncting Mars. So there can certainly be some violence. I'm always a practitioner of the idea of as above, so below. So check in with your own sense of violence within yourself and heal it, because this is an opportunity. Eclipses are portals of change. It illuminates the full moon. It stirs up the emotion because it's a full moon lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse is more of a starting over, a redo. The eclipses that are involving the moon, that's the archetype of feelings and emotions. So we all might get stirred up. Are you going to do this so consciously or unconsciously? All right. Namaste to you too, Scott. All right. So Tanya, that 27 degrees directly on your Vesta. Wow. Illuminate the way you want to share with your spiritual practices, the way you want to practice spiritually, whatever that might mean to you. It's illuminating that need to connect with the numinous in doing some form of routine, of being the Vestal virgin within. Hello from Houston, Anuka. All right. Thank you, Corey. Thank you for being here. So before we say goodnight, I also like to share with you my mediumistic skills and how we do this. I know we're in different platforms. Hi, Angel from Colorado. And the only fair way I can see doing this is I close my eyes, I use my finger, and I select anyone who would like to get a spiritual message. So if you want to get a spiritual message, please say so. I want to get a spiritual message in the comments section. And then I'll come to you. And as a medium, I may get some messages from someone who's passed, or it just might be a psychic message. I have no idea. I'm very open with my Neptune conjunct my Sun conjunct Mercury. And I have had a lot of training in the realm of mediumship. Some of you might be familiar with this wonderful place. It's called Lilydale Assembly in upstate New York. If you're not, look it up. It's a great place for classes and Zooms and so forth. And Neil and one of my dear heart friends are going to be doing a year ahead through Lilydale coming up in December. I think it's December 18th. Anyway, I'm always doing classes. Visit me please on my website. Join my newsletter. I always have interesting things. And if you're in the Buffalo area, on Friday, tune in to WBEN Radio, because I'll be doing some astrology and some podcasts on one of the American radio stations. So let me know if you want to get a message. I'll close my eyes, say my prayer, and we'll do that right now. Dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love and light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest, for the best, as we align ourselves with the holiest of spirits. Amen. Okay. Oh, Tonya S. My finger came to you. Tonya Sangerlin. Yes. Tonya, are you still in the room? I'd like to come to you and give you a message, please. Okay. Sonia. Just say yes if you're still in the room, honey. Okay, yes, you're here. Great. All right, so as I'm tuning into your energy, I'm feeling a sense of flowers around you. I don't know if you work with flowers. I don't know if you just buy flowers or you're a florist, but I'm getting a lot of bouquets of flowers. And now it's shifting. The message is shifting to perhaps you have lost someone fairly recently, that we often remember people who have passed with flower arrangements. But I'm getting flowers with you, and I'm smelling them, and I'm feeling, this is a dual image for you. The flowers that are uplifting you all the time, they speak to you. It feels that you love planting, you love gardening, but there's also a room full of flowers to me that represents someone who may have passed fairly recently. I'm not getting a timeline here, but someone that when they passed, they had a room full of flowers, and you're still thinking of this person. And I feel this is a female, and I feel this is someone that was close and near and dear to your heart. It could have been a mother figure, not necessarily a mother. It could have been a grandmother, but someone who's coming in here and trying to uplift you with the concept of doing the gardening or connecting with the flower or plant energy. Does this make sense? You're welcome to post a comment. Okay. All right. I'll go further with you, Tonya. I feel that you're a free spirit. I feel that you have a lot of joy that you like, that's contagious. When you are in your best and most inspired mindset, people love to be around your humor and your upliftment. This is interesting how I do this, because this is I don't know you, my friend, but I'm getting strong Sagittarius with you. It's almost as if you're like a teacher preacher, and you're getting the people going and getting them excited about what's possible as opposed to what isn't. That you have a great inspired heart. And again, I'm going back to the idea of like a funeral home with the flowers, that even when death or difficulty crosses your path, you're able to find relief by connecting with the beauty of nature. I keep on getting nature with you. January is going to be a very significant month for you. Now, in January of 2022, Tonya, we are going to have Mr. Santa Claus Jupiter in the sign of Pisces, right? He's coming back into ingress on the 29th of December of this year. But the Pisces part of your chart is going to be ignited in some ways. I'm presuming you know your chart, because I'm giving the message this way. But where you find Pisces, you're going to be starting something new that's very much reflective of Jupiter's gifts, teaching or inspiring others. I would love to get some feedback from you. Okay, your garden is beautiful, full of flowers. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So your Venus is in Pisces. All right. That's wonderful. That's wonderful, my dear, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that this January, you're feeling all is well with my world, and I'm here to help uplift others who are not as fortunate as I. That I'm trying to counsel or console others. You've got a fabulous spirit. I'm getting the mutable signs, the Pisces and the Saggy. That's going to be really on fire as we move into January of 2022. All right. Thank you for being here. We do 2 an evening, so I'll do one more. And I want to thank every one of you for being here. I appreciate your energy. You being in the room with me, I might not know you, might be across the globe in a different time zone, a different day even, but I really appreciate you joining me on Wednesdays for the Cosmic Connections. All right. So for the next spiritual message, okay. All right. My finger stopped at Corey Braverman. Corey Braverman. And where are you from, Corey? Just say hi that you're here. Hi, Amber. Hi, Jen. Thank you for being here. Corey, you still in the room? Hi, Anja from Australia. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Sarah. Hi, Jen. Thank you, Monica. Is Corey still in the room? I have to at least see your name. Hi, Amber. Hi, Marie. Claude from Quebec. Let me know where you're all from. All right. Maybe Corey's gone for the evening. Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Mary. Hi, JP. Hi, Gloria from Texas. Amber. Okay. All right. She may have left the room. Hi, Sirkan. Again, I can't say enough about the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I'm just one of very many devoted, dedicated, amazing astrologers across the planet. I want to direct your attention to the Venus class that's coming up this weekend, right? And it's going to be an amazing one. I left the link as we started this webcast tonight, and so please go there on Sunday and Monday, 21st and 22nd. Okay. So much value. Absolutely, Jen. It absolutely is so much value for CIA membership. Tom, welcome, welcome, welcome. God bless you guys. We're going to do one more. And the person that I'm going to come to is Jamie Boswell from Baltimore, Maryland. Hi, Jamie. Are you still in the room, honey? We're getting some delay in our energy. Whoops. Hello, hello. All right. I'm getting a delay. Can't post comments to some destinations. Right, Vixie? We always have a replay. So I'm just going to do one more. Okay. Okay, Tom Newman from Florida. May I come to you? Are you still in the room? Are you still in the room? I'm just having some difficulties here, dear friends. But okay, good, Tom. Thank you. I will come to you, my friend. Tom, as I'm tuning into your energy, I know you're from Florida, but I'm seeing the Sunshine Bridge I'm not from Florida. I've been to Florida. Who hasn't been to Florida in the U.S., right? Florida's like everyone's backyard. But I'm seeing the Sunshine Bridge, and I'm seeing the idea of bridges for you. It's a metaphor that you're right now at a time in your life when you're making and creating new bridges with contacts and with people, and you're also removing certain contacts. You're in a hyper sense, a hyper time of recreating the business of socially networking. I don't know if you're starting a new business or if you are in the business of networking and you do this all the time, customers or clients. But Tom, I'm feeling that you are on fire in terms of making new contacts and connections, bridge building. I'm also picking up with you, Tom, a sense of, okay, I know I'm getting this. It's like a big soup pot with a big ladle, and it might be a stew or an old-fashioned chicken noodle soup thing, but it's coming to you in terms of someone who loved to serve nutritious, fantastic soup to the family. I think I'm with a great aunt or a grandmother. We're going back a couple generations, that she always had these. It was an ethnic soup. It was with dumplings and so forth in it. Now we're heading towards the American Thanksgiving, by the way, but it's not a traditional Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving soup. It's a soup that this woman was known for sharing. And she's saying to you, and I feel this is more of a great aunt or a grandmother than a grandmother, but it might be there's two sisters, the grandmother, great grandmother, and the great aunt. They're saying that you have to slow down and nurture yourself with the soup, because you've been so busy making these new contacts and connections. And then sometimes you make contacts and connections over a lunch or over a meal, and you're not eating enough nutrition, not enough nutritional food. So, Tom, I'm getting this exciting period in your life of making these new contacts, but an admonition from this beloved female maternal figure on the other side of life to slow down and eat more wholesome, old-fashioned possible soups. I mean, just like bone broth, for heaven's sakes. You might want to, maybe you're a culinary person, you like to make soup, but I'm getting the ladling of the soup, and I'm seeing this excitement of rebuilding your contact list and networking in a new way. Okay? All right. So, does that make sense, Tom? I hope so. It's your grandmother. All right. So, thank you, my dear friends, for being here. We just do 2 readings a Wednesday night. And how we get readings is very random. I close my eyes and I use my finger and I just select someone who's in the room on the contact page here. That's it. There's no magic to it. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Tom. You're all very welcome. I really appreciate you being here tonight. If you do celebrate American Thanksgiving, which is next week, I'll be here on Wednesday at 9 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And I believe that's noon in Australia. So in any case, I love being with you. Go and sign up for the CIA if you haven't already. It's a wonderful opportunity on the planet of great astrological wisdom. And I wish you all the best. Have a beautiful week. And don't be afraid of that eclipse, okay? It's just about darkness being shown to us so we can heal it and reframe it. Many blessings and good night.